afternoon, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of our MSME Masterclass. Today's session brings us deep into the world of industrial execution, where quality is not a checklist, but a discipline that determines plant safety, uptime, and long-term reliability. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjay Khare, founder and CEO of Tanswa Technologies Inc. Passing out from VGTI as an electrical engineer with over 41 years of industrial experience, including a very strong foundation in quality assurance and product development at Siemens, Mr. Khare has spent more than 3 decades building and scaling control panel manufacturing systems that serve OEMs, EPC companies, and heavy process industries across 30 plus countries. Tanswa Technologies Inc. specializes in special purpose and hazardous area control panels designed for demanding environments in oil and gas, refineries and pharmaceutical metals, industrial plants, and large-scale process industries, where even a small execution lapse can lead to serious operational consequences. What makes his perspective especially relevant for MSMEs is his deep focus on execution discipline, from documentation accuracy and component selection to wiring integrity, testing protocols, and hazardous zone compliance. His experience bridges global quality expectations with real-world shop floor realities. Today, he will help us understand how MSMEs can strengthen execution discipline in industrial control panel manufacturing, improving reliability, reducing rework, and building a long-term trust with OEM clients. Mr. Khare, we are delighted to have you with us. Welcome to our MSME Masterclass.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and I would be sure to know and whatever things are there with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So my first question to you is, when we talk about execution discipline in control panel manufacturing, what does that really mean on the shop floor?
Basically, I would say it is not only discipline with respect to commercial, it is with respect to technical, it is with respect to everything. Because first thing is, everybody should know that MSME is like riding on a bicycle or a bike. It can be anybody's fault, but you will get hurt. So the first thing you have to be very clear about is minimum order quantity to be ordered. Not that you are getting discounts, so you are ordering too much. Second thing, while executing the project, everything should be there in writing. For example, nowadays many people say, I am sending you something on WhatsApp, but that is not considered as official communication. Third thing is, whatever you are going to get any changes done, that should be recorded in your system. You can politely ask them, sir, can you please send us a mail so that it will be very clear on the record. So this is one of the basic things, that you need to get everything on paper and then start executing. That will solve a lot of problems, because then verbal arguments has got no meaning. Sir, मैंने आपको बोला था, I had told you to do this. You are asking everything in writing. You can politely say as an owner that, sir, I have to pass on to the information, so I don't want to have any problem at later date. So I am asking you. I think that will solve many of the problems.
Understood. And sir, according to you, where do most MSMEs go wrong while manufacturing industrial control panels?
Yes. After all, in MSMEs, typically people love their business. They feel that it is my baby. But world doesn't run on your love and affection. You have to be very clear that return of investment is most important rather than return on investment. Because many times people will offer you, there is a lot of opportunity, you get 50% margin. But 50% margin after 1 year has got no meaning. Even if you get 10% margin within a limited period, that should be the first thing. And this is the place where many MSMEs go wrong. Second important thing is, you must have your market intelligence and you find out from the place. Suppose you know a particular customer is not paying in time. Better to avoid them at least in starting period. Or if it is delaying the payment, you don't take a chance, because this is one of the most important things. I think this is one of the things.
Right. So, how critical, according to you, is documentation accuracy before fabrication even begins?
Yes. Basically, you are in MSME, so you can't afford to have too many choices of your sub vendors because your order value is less. Generally, you start with critical application, but at the same time, fabrication is the starting point of everything. You can't afford to start fabrication yourself from day one. Those people who have started, they have to face a lot of difficulty because there is a different class of people. So, first question is whether your fabricator is aligned with you. So alignment is other part, but what are his limitations? Because you are already in the lower strata of the industry and your fabricator is in further lower strata. So if he is not having CNC punching fabrication and if your client is demanding it, if you are in a position to help them by getting that fabrication done from outside, then only you can survive. Otherwise, you have to convince your client that, sir, I am doing this, but still you will get the final quality. There may not be possibility for you to reject the material once it is ready. Because your fabricator may accept it one time, but next time you will say, sir, it is not possible for me to do your fabrication. Or he will delay, which is not possible. So coming to the subject, you should understand the limitations of your sub vendors like fabricators, powder coating, and then make your designs accordingly. And those who are beyond your control, you should flatly refuse to start with. Don't take more than what you can chew.
Absolutely right, sir. So now tell our attendees what are the most common wiring and layout errors seen in control panels?
Yes, basically in electrical control panels, the critical part is heat dissipation and smallest part of wiring. Like for example, if you are taking wire from component A to component B, then what is the least distance path that will help you to reduce your cost? Because component cost in electrical control panel industry is almost same for everybody. So what you have to decide is that the way you make the layout. Second important thing, while placing the component, you have to make it in such a way that that heat generating component should not transfer its heat to something else. Those components which generate electromagnetic interference or those can difference of high voltage should not be placed in a low voltage devices. Nearly, like for example, PLC and VFD need not be placed together. They should be mounted part apart from each other so that they don't disturb each other. So these are the basic critical 2 points.
And so, how can poor cable management impact long-term panel reliability?
Frankly speaking, in electrical, if your wiring is correct, like for example, take example of your tube lights. Suppose you are got tube light at your home and there is a button. Even if you have got hanging wire, even if you have got a wire which goes 500 meters away and comes back, or if it goes through proper conduit, the working remains same. It to this cable management really does not affect long-term reliability, but in case of maintenance at later date, that may cause a problem. Like for example, suppose you have got multiple wires, they are crisscrossing each other, and if you want to trace the wire, then that might be difficult. And especially for maintenance, you must be seeing that many times people just complete the panel, give it like this, and when at later date they want to change the wiring, then that's a hell of a job. So cable management impacts in long term in terms of maintenance.
And sir, also tell us what role does component selection play in preventing field failures?
Yes. Basically, whenever you are working in India, especially or in extreme conditions, you have to discount for all the bad conditions. Like for example, we never place our panels. 90% panels are not placed in air conditioning. Then the handling is not good. So there has to be a built-in safety in your component Like for example, suppose you have got 5 HP motor. You cannot have critical design of 5 HP because due to heat and other things, if the motor gets overloaded, it is going to draw more current. Similarly, suppose your operations are 5 times in an hour, you may have to design something which is for 15 times an hour. So even if after abusing by client, it will work. Like for example, it's a day-to-day Indian practice. If your truck is 10 tons, no transporter will carry 10 tons. He will try to put 12 tons or something. So these are natural tendencies, whether it's good or bad, that's a different issue. So in our panel, like for example, even if your current is milliampere, from handling point of view, we start minimum 0.75 square mm copper wire. Technically 0.1 square mm wire is also sufficient, but during handling, mending, it may break. So this is add-on safety has to be intrinsically in the design in all components, and sometimes you may have to go for minimum design which may be 50 times, but that allows you to do standardization and intrinsic safety in design.
Got it. Got it. Now, so how important is panel layout planning in avoiding overheating and electrical faults?
Yes, basically, as I told you, the component selections once you have done, then there are different type of components. First category is low voltage and high voltage. Low voltage, I mean 24 volt and below, we technically call it low voltage. Beyond that is high voltage. So as far as possible, you should not keep high voltage and low voltage components side by side. As far as possible, you may have to route the wiring also from different channels. Apart from that, crisscrossing of wire, that means 20 volts wire is crossing 24 volts. Then your VFD, that is variable frequency drives, causes high frequency. They should not go through a very low voltage device. Like for example, there are some communication devices which work on 5 volts. So if you carry your high voltage cables or high frequency cables near to that may cause interference and disturbance. Even though you may take care by using a different grade of wires which are shielded cables or covered cables, still basic is segregation of voltages, demarcation of output cables also going through the channels. So these are the basic care which avoids overheating and electrical faults, and we have already taken care of the basic ratings by putting some safety factor into it. So this way you can avoid, and your ducts are placed inside the panel to take those wires in a good way. So that ducts also should not be pulled to 100% extent. There should be 60 to 75% filling inside, so that there is a space for ventilation of air.
Got it. So help us understand the typical mistakes in hazardous area panel manufacturing.
Yes, this is one of the most gray area where people just go by their past experience. अरे उसमें कुछ नहीं होता है. अरे nothing happens. We have been using. You have been crossing the road for 100 times a day, but whether to cross at zebra crossing or not, that is your basic design. In India, unfortunately, people are not very serious about this thing. But nowadays, when safety is the most important concern because it causes lot of problems at later date, understanding the risk at site application is very, very important. Like which kind of hazardous gases you have, whether it is having methane, ethane, propane, hydrogen sulfide. So these kind of gases, they're cutting dust. Dust is also, conductive dust is the biggest hazard. You must have seen in carbon plants or even normal floor mill, which is having carbon, which can cause short circuit or cracking. Third is, if it is outdoor, then water may seep in. Or some rain and other things can cause short circuit. In cold regions, there can be ice. So ice, if it gets formed on that, after some time it melts and it seeps in the thing. Then temperature. So these are the basic hazards which need to be studied, and each of the selection causes a differential pricing. Like for example, if it is a hazardous gas plus hazardous dust plus outdoor plus ice plus temperature. Like there are some regions which may have ice formation during winter and 45 degrees during summer. So your component selection, and if you consider all these things and then choose your component, the chances are minimal. But once in 10 years it happens, but in that 10th year you are going to have a problem. So you have to consider all those things.
Okay. So how should MSMEs manage quality checks at each stage of panel assembly?
Yes. On paper, it is always good to have, you should have QC engineer, you should have QC technicians and other things. But whenever somebody starts all these things, it is practically very, very difficult and impossible to have separate staff for that. And third, and most importantly, MSME will never get a trained staff. You can't afford, and nobody is interested in serving to MSME to start with. Everybody is having their thing, multinational business. So you have to train your lowermost staff and tell them, okay, this is my design. If you find some deviation, you let us know. And why this has to be tightened like this? There is no other choice, but the owner has to take responsibility for that. And lowermost staff should be given the basic training. And it is a time-consuming process. It's a really cumbersome process. But this is how you can survive. Because even if you take somebody from outside, he may not be knowing intricacies of your business. Because a person who is manufacturing panels for machine may be knowing everything about machine, but for hazardous area application, for oil and gas, he may not be knowing. So if you have to go by first principle of design and quality control, and you have to train them. You cannot say, no, I have appointed one senior person from XYZ company retired. He has to first get trained from you that what is your requirement. So to conclude, it is a lowermost staff. You have to train them and bring it to certain level that minimizes your 90% profit.
Sir, also tell us what testing protocols should never be skipped for dispatch.
Yes, here I always say to my people that 5% saving in time for QA causes 100% extra time at site. Like for example, there are some sequences which one has to design. In our panels, for example, what we do, okay, whether the rating of cable is good, number one. Whether number two, whether the rating of component is chosen correctly. Number three, whether the color code is followed correctly. Number four, whether the connections are proper. Because in electrical, if your connection is perfect, it is bound to run. And it is not perfect, even if you move that wire, it is not going to work. So, and there are certain critical parameters which need to be checked 100%. Like for example, if you are manufacturing a testing system for fans, then what are the varieties of fans you are going to test? So you have to check for working of your panel for lowermost current, highermost current, then lowermost voltage and highest voltage. So all these things you have to define which are the parameters which are critical, and then those zero compromise testing has to be done. Like for example, in hazardous area panels which we manufacture, we do each and every panel 100% because there is no second chance for you to get at site. In machine control panel, if your design is perfect, then if you have got some pre-assembly checks, then you may have some items skipped. But overall, there has to be a protocol, these 5 points, these 10 points, and that has to be decided even before you agree for the purchase order.
So, talking about FAT, which is factory acceptance testing, can it be strengthened in small manufacturing setups?
Yes, 100%. As I told you, critical factors have to be checked 100%. Like for example, suppose you are supplying a panel for the oven. Means oven means what? You are going to give current to the heaters. So you have to simulate the condition of that current in your factory so that your panels do not get heated up or it does not causes any problem inside your panel. Similarly, for hazardous area panel, whatever the interlocks which you have given, suppose you are opening the door, it should fix the thing. Suppose you are switching off the protective gas supply, it should fix. So those critical points have to be taken 100%. There is no compromise for that. Even nameplates, another thing you may feel critical, but that is you cannot interchange the nameplate on and off. Otherwise, it may cause disaster. So, like checking of the nameplate, electrical circuit drawing, connection cable schedules, they have to be checked 100%, not only in manufacturing but in drawing. It has to be 100% for those kind of critical points.
So, tell me, what are the biggest risks when sourcing components from multiple vendors?
Yes. Nowadays, things are becoming more and more competitive. So you must be knowing that when you open internet, oh, if you put that thing, Are Bapre, we are getting in 100 rupees, somebody is offering at 80 rupees. Okay, very good. You have to ascertain and give a chance to your vendor first. We have got our vendors which are there with us for 30 years, 25 years, maybe their second generation is dealing with us. You have to give your vendor first a chance, showing him very clearly, I have been buying with you for 100 rupees, but nowadays somebody is offering, can you just find out? You may have to send some dummy inquiry to find out what is the thing. It may be having some component which you have refurbished and selling you. Don't just jump to vendor which has been done in nowadays multinational. They just L1, L2 and other things are there. But fast track record is getting less important in multinational, but in MSME you cannot do. Because if you hurt your regular vendor, he is not going to believe you next time. He is not going to support the one who has supported you. You have to give him chance and feedback. This is the source. Can you get it from this source or where it is going? Sometimes you have to pay some premium also. Like for example, if there is a availability of some component suddenly in the market, the price may come down. But then you have to tell your vendor, boss, I want to give it back. Because this keeping long-term relation always helps you because he is ready to get the material back from you. In online, you don't get those kind of things. And somebody from Delhi, suppose offering at particular price, eventually while transit if it gets damaged, who is going to be the responsible person? So you have to train your sub vendors so that your sourcing is reliable and perfect.
Understood. So tell us, how can MSMEs maintain consistency when handling custom built panels?
Yes, basically custom built panels are one of the critical things. As we always say, the one who can make custom built panels, he can always make regular panels. Because for making custom built panels, you have to consider right from design till delivery till commissioning aspect. Because you are father and mother for the lifetime. And in MSME, if you are ready to take that risk, then you are likely to get more orders. Like for example, we have got certain SOP, that is standard operating practices. We get as much details from the customer about the site conditions, end use, and we suggest them. This part you are not considered, can you just recheck and check it so that he doesn't have to have any problem at later date. And obviously, you have to take care of finish of your panel, then painting or powder coating surface, then wiring joints, then components which are traceable, which are having certification, then what are the final checkpoints client is going to do at his point at the time of installation. There also you have to provide, apart from drawing, certain manuals and operating instructions. Because tomorrow if he makes the mistake and if there is a problem, nobody is going to say that I have done the mistake. Sir, I had done like this, but it is not working. So you must have certain standard operating procedures for installation. Then for design, you are already taken care of it. And you have to check those panels 100% because they are tailor-made. It is not a scratch factor.
Right. So to tell us, what kind of traceability practices should panel manufacturers adopt?
Yes. Here you must have seen nowadays that your client may ask you after 6 months, "Arey boss, I want this information." You cannot simply shut your doors. No, I have already given you drawing. You also must have all communication with us. Like for example, in our company, we have done local server-based system. In local server-based system, it so happens that we take backup servers and other things also. We don't put things on cloud. Because in cloud, it may be useful for people who have got multiple operations, but in our kind of company, which is single location operation, cloud eventually becomes costlier because they charge you every year. So we have a server-based system and it should be a proper server machine. Like for example, those computers which are having 24/7 hard disk. To give an example, you may be getting a Dell PC with Windows 10 official operating system and other things at let's say 45,000 rupees. Similar server you will get at exactly 1 lakh rupees. It is not that costly, but that is having better hardware with it. So all our drawings, documents have to be stored in those things. In our company, even dispatch truck is also photographed and kept in the system. We even keep the copy of invoice packing list, and you will find this for last 15 years. And which is practically possible, but you have to have traceability. Then drawing. Drawing also you have to give numbering system, you have to decide how you want to do that. But this traceability always helps because when he gives a repeat order or similar order, then you have got all the records available. You have to just copy it and make necessary changes. And clients also appreciate if you give the service. Like for example, in our company, we don't have marketing or salesperson. We get reference generated business only because client will say, you go to Tanswa, they have got the record, they will give the information. Because in nowadays, this is helping us to promote our product because nowadays people are changing in all companies very fast. So there may not be a engineer who has interacted in 5 years back, but you are there, your client always gets a respite that yes, he is helping. So this traceability of drawing, documentation, communication, certificate copy always helps.
Now, sir, talking about execution quality, help our MSMEs understand how the shop floor skill level influence execution quality.
Yes. Jokingly, I always say, in MSME, you have got a choice how you want to get hit. By wood, you want by pipe, or by iron rod. So better to get hurt by wooden plank so that you get minimum hurt. Just it is for what? You will not get people who are trained because you can't afford them, because you cannot fulfill their aspirations. So you have to work with 9 standard pass people. Of course, that is policy of our company, and fresh engineers. They may not know anything. Agree? Because you have to live with them. And then you have to train because they get molded in your system. You do not have choice. Like for example, if you get a trained ITI, he did not know what your company is doing or what are the practices in your company. You think that it may be helpful for you in certain aspects, but at the same time, he may not be in a mental attitude to learn. Like for example, if you get an experienced engineer, he may have some other experience of other company which may be hardly useful for him, but you are paying him more, plus he may have more ego. So as a policy, you have to base your system in such a way that it should be from a lowermost skill possible. You have to train them, you have to put your time. Because even if you get a trained person, the moment he gets a better choice, because you are not going to fulfill the aspiration if you are in MSME. There is somebody ready to catch, because nowadays multinationals, they take people with 2 years experience, 3 years experience. So where they will get the experience? Like us. If you take already somebody who is experienced one, then you are already paying him more, still he is going to go in 2 years. So of course, this is a policy you have to find out based on your requirement. In our, we are doing that thing, and that is helping us quite a lot.
Right, sir. So, according to you, what training practices help reduce assembly errors?
Yes. Like for example, whenever a person comes in our company, we have got lot of photographs which are of earlier products. Whenever any new product is being made, we take them there. Okay, this is the wire, this is the thing, this is the like this, and we tell our people to give them information. They may be standing just like that to have observation, but you don't have much choice. But you have to train them, and what are the things? Then we ask them to ask questions to their seniors, and if they are not giving, in this once again, as I told you, the owner of MSME has to take onus for training them. You cannot say itna kaisa samajhta nahi. How are you not understanding it? He is not understanding. That is why he is working with you. Otherwise, you would have gone to multinational. So don't put that derogatory word. Okay, what you are not understood, it is like this. We have to start training them right from how to talk, how to convey your message. Like for example, we always say, if you are calling a transporter, you already called for a truck. You have to say, sir, your truck has not reached. You never say or ask, have you sent the truck? So these all small gestures have to be taught to them, and then once your culture is built, then you always have this. So coming to the conclusion, we have to first show them this is the instrument, this is how it has to be done. Because since childhood we have been taught, oh, don't touch this, don't do it. Nobody has shown us, okay, you put your finger on the button, press it gently, now the light will start. So we have been taught in Indian condition, negative condition. Don't do this, don't do this. Suddenly nobody is going to get knowledge. So we have to train them, and that is how we are doing it.
Right, sir. So tell us, how should rework be handled without compromising the delivery timelines?
Yes, in spite of doing all these designs and SOPs, there are going to be rework. So in the rework, we always tell our client upfront, sir, this panel is complete, but this is the rework, and we send the photograph. He may give you a lot of gali, abuse. Oh, how can you do your people are, sir? So first you have to convince him, yes, the mistake is there from our side, but we are rectifying it. Don't say, no, I am giving, because then he will call you 10 times. You be upfront, yes, this is the mistake which has happened. Yes, this component is wrong. To start with, client may abuse you. But once they understand your philosophy, sir, and this is the thing, now we have changing like this. Second important thing, if there is a mistake from a person, we always take the expert, but the person who has done the mistake is always standing there to know what has happened. Suppose A has done the mistake, we never tell B to do the correction. We tell A to stand there, let B do that, and then the finishing once again let A has to do. So he will get an idea, yes, what has happened. And these reworks have to be handled. Many times nameplates and other things, they may look very simple things, but if they are not good, they are not good. If the layout is it, you may have to change it. And no compromise aspect has to be there. Means चलेगा और चलता है, नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलता है. Sir को वो चलेगा नहीं. In our company, our staff always say, even if you have done 2000 wiring, sir will come and he will pull 3 wires and they will be loose. So this is how attitude one has to develop, that I don't want to give my customer anything which is lesser. That is how we are exporting to all these countries and other things, right from USA, Australia, Canada, we are exporting, Germany. But Yes, these do happen.
All right. So, how can MSMEs align their panel manufacturing processes with OEM expectations?
Yes. Now here, let me be very frank with you. OEM is a very difficult sector to be handled. We are losing practically all OEMs once the panels get developed fully, because OEM is a very cost conscious sector. Even though it gives you lot of volume, once your panel design is there, once you have done the bill of material, once you have got the circuit, there is no engineering left in the circuit. So then it is only question of your sourcing capability. At what price you are getting the material at lower speed. And we are located in Navi Mumbai, which is the costliest place as far as electricity, manpower. So practically, to complete the expectations of OEM, you have to find out how economical you can do the job at high volume. So OEM is a segment which gives you bread, never it will give you butter. Okay, if you do some development for them, for initial period, he will give you bread and butter, but thereafter he will give you bread, then thin slice, they will make further half slice of that bread. So one has to decide whether you have to continue with the OEM. And practically, there, if you want to deal with OEM, you have to be able to give the same pricing which they are expecting, which practically goes down over the years, the margin. But everybody has to choose depending on his place of working and the manpower available.
Now, so tell us, what are the early warning signs that a panel may fail after commissioning?
Frankly speaking, in electrical panels, there are only two choices. It runs or it burns. Chalega ya chalega. So if your design is perfect, you will find that panels and things are working for n number of years. It is only deterioration of components which causes a problem. But that also takes quite good number of years. Like for example, in our home also, you will find that we have done the wiring for 25 years. If the wiring, there is a safety and other things, they never burn. But if you are putting an air conditioner in your home, and then your wiring is not capable of supplying to the air conditioner, it will start getting hot. So to have that, there are now methods which are called as infrared thermometer measurement. But in instrumentation panel, generally there is no failure, but it's upgradation of technology. Like for example, you must have experienced nowadays at our home, your TV, electronic devices, they simply get obsolete. Generally, they don't burn or anything, and there is no early sign. If the life is over, it is over. In power panels, yes, you get some warning of heating, smoke, loose connection. So, if at all I have to say, you have to get thermal temperature measurement by infrared thermometer and tightening of the connection over the time. So, that is the only thing you can have.
Right. So, my last question to you today is, if an MSME wants to improve execution discipline starting from tomorrow, what are the first 3 changes you would recommend them?
Yeah, you might be knowing that many of the MSME fail because of financial discipline and financial management and recovery problems. So, as a policy, you must do the reverse costing of any panel which you have supplied and any product you have given. What do you mean by reverse costing? Like for example, suppose there are 10 components in your panel. Okay, what is the time which you have taken? Then what is the workman's time? Then what are the component costs? If you have got something extra for minimum order quantity, then you have to account for that costing also. Many times it so happens, will not make name of the company, but there are switchgear big companies, many vendors have failed because the minimum order quantity which they have ordered, what companies do, suppose they are using minimum order quantity is 100, they have ordered using only 5. Then in the costing they take only 5. But those 95 remains as a dead inventory which is eventually killing. So you must do the reverse costing of the project. And then suppose the client is asking for service every time, you have to add that cost also. And if you find that reverse costing is not possible, you have to ruthlessly stop working with that client. That we have done, so that is why, yes, you may say, "Arey boss, you are not doing, somebody else is doing at this price, fine, no problem, I am not supporting." It is never advisable to go in loss in that. This is first. Second thing, do not take any single order more than 25% of your turnover, howsoever attractive it may be, it is flooding the thing, unless he is ready to share the financial burden. In our industry, we have seen many times, जिसका turnover 3 crore था, he got an order of 3 crore and the order got delayed. The panels were laying with him, he could not afford to keep them. Ultimately, he had to go out of industry because your workman, your supplier not going to wait for that time, even if it gets locked up at your place. And in project, if the things get delayed, you should be able to keep that inventory and still work without any problem. If you can do that, yes, you can always go up in a very good way. So this is one of the most important things nowadays, even in our case also, and especially export orders and other things. We have to be very cautious because LC and other things may not be a good thing unless it is backed up by some insurances and other things. And that is where things go wrong. Clients avoid inspection itself. If they don't take a delivery that date, inventory has got no meaning. So never cross single order with a 25% of your turnover. And third, HR has to be your domain as your owner. Because there are many people in our industry, अरे वो मेरा बहुत तेरा प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है, वो मेरा सीए देखता है, अच्छा ये क्या है, मैं एचआर को रखा है. सीए, my bold statement as an engineer, CA will do a post-mortem. He will never tell you what to design, at what price to pay. After doing the thing, he will tell, "Oh, Mr. Khare, you have made losses in this." Is he going to tell you whether this panel is to be sold at this price, how it is going? No. He is a chartered accountant to tell you where you stand. Similarly, HR. HR is going to come to your company. He may not have nerve of your company, your employees and other things. So you cannot ignore those things. So HR and financial accounting, at what price, whether you are getting money out of that, these are the three things which most MSMEs, no, I am doing engineering, my CA does this, my HR does this. No. If you do this, you are likely to be saved like anything because early warnings are there.
With that, we've come to the end of today's episode. So thank you so much for being with us and for sharing your insights on execution discipline in industrial control panel manufacturing. It's been lovely having you, so thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
For our attendees who are online, if you'd like to view the current episode, if you've missed any part of the current episode, please go on YouTube, type GSW1 MSME, and you'll find all our episodes uploaded there. Thank you once again, sir. Bye-bye.